Cardon Carpet is an independently held manufacturer of carpet in the floor cover industry. They occupy about 0.5% of the carpet and rug market in the United States, which is the only market in which they operate. While they have seen sales steadily increase, Cardon Carpet's board of directors want to see the company explore options in direct distribution to increase profit margins. Currently, they have net revenues of about $75 million per year. Suzanne Goldman, special assistant to the president of Cardon Carpet, Robert Meadows, has hired Team Charlie from Raider Marketing Consultants Incorporated to give a current market analysis and provide several recommendations for Cardon Carpet. I am Luke Bradley, along with Rachel Moore, Alana Pierce, Brian Bowles, and together we are Team Charlie. Cardon Carpet Mills manufactures a full line of medium to high price carpet in the residential and business segments in the United States. The residential segment accounts for the majority of Cardon Carpet Mills sales at $54 million or 72%. Currently, the majority of Cardon Carpet Mills business sales are within the southeastern United States and only account for 28% or $21 million in sales. Cardon Carpet's residential market spans across the domestic United States and has an intricate network of long-term customers. It gets their product to residential consumers via 7 regional wholesalers that they sell their product to. Cardon Carpet Mills currently distributes products through 7 floor covering wholesalers who in turn supply 4,000 retail establishments that include department stores, furniture stores, and floor covering specialty stores. These floor covering wholesalers make up the majority of Cardon Carpet's business and are all established long-term customers. These wholesalers are an extremely valuable part of Cardon Carpet's business and are one of their keys to success. The board of directors at Cardon Carpet sees the profit margins of these wholesalers and they want a piece of that action. Their proposal is to set up Cardon Carpet's own warehouses and act as their own wholesalers to these retail distribution points. Cardon Carpet Mills sells products in the United States rug and carpet industry, which operates within the U.S. floor covering industry. While the carpet and rug industry remains the largest segment in the U.S. floor covering industry, substitute products led to a decrease in market share from 73.6% of total industry in 1994 to 68.1% of the industry in 1999. As you can see from the chart, the carpet and rug segment of the market is increasing. Although the carpet and rug has a declining market share, their overall sales are growing because of the industry expansion as a whole. The total size of the U.S. floor coverings market, slightly under $18 billion in 1999, consisted of 20 major competitors, all with sales of more than $100 million. With total sales of $75 million, Cardon Carpet Mills currently holds approximately 0.5% of the market share in the carpet and rug segment of the floor cover industry. The largest manufacturers are Shaw, Mohawk, and Armstrong, and together they make up 57% of the market. The carpet and rug segment has around 100 manufacturers, most of which are independently held. Here are trends in the United States carpet and rug manufacturing industry categorized by decade. As you can see, 20 years ago there were over 300 manufacturers. Through consolidation and liquidation, this pool has shrunk to around 100 companies. In the mid-1980s, floor covering manufacturers had tried the strategy of bypassing wholesalers and going straight to retailers. Specialty stores, department stores, and furniture stores account for 58, 21, and 9% of the residential sales volume, respectively. In the early 1990s, the creation of buying groups or organizations of similar retailers who pool purchases to obtain quantity discounts led to large mass merchandise discount stores, and home centers being able to capture a larger share of residential floor cover sales. In the mid-1990s, the largest carpet and rug manufacturer, Shaw Industries, announced its plans to go straight to the retail market with their products by opening its own retail stores and creating its own buying group. By mid-1998, Shaw Industries sold all of its retail stores and returned to wholesale distribution because they saw a mass exodus of their customers to their competitors. Now in 2000, due to decreased market share and dwindling margins, the idea of bypassing wholesalers and going straight to retailers is once again being considered by many carpet wholesalers, including Cardon Carpet Mills Incorporated. Cardon Carpet Mills is considering changing its supply chain model. Rather than selling through wholesalers, Cardon Carpet is considering vertically integrating in order to capture the margins that are currently going to wholesalers. The activities that Cardon Carpet Mills has to consider when eliminating the wholesaler are highlighted in red. Considering the cost and time related to these functions, Cardon Carpet Mills has to figure out if the extra margin that they will capture by eliminating the wholesaler is enough to cover these costs and increase their overall margin. In addition to covering these activities, Cardon Carpet Mills will also have to consider the costs of operating 7 wholesale locations and hiring 70 new sales representatives and 8 sales managers. Currently, sales representatives are working for the wholesalers. The salary cost of the sales representatives is covered by the wholesalers. However, this means that not all of the sales representatives' time is spent selling Cardon Carpet Mills products. The total cost of staffing if Cardon Carpet Mills decides to go direct to retail, including salary and benefits for 70 sales representatives and 9 sales managers, will be $7,840,000. The benefit to that option would be that Cardon Carpet Mills sales representatives would not be selling non-competing products, which would lead to an increase of time spent selling Cardon Carpet Mills products of 18 hours per week per sales representative. Here are the additional costs for Cardon Carpet to be a wholesaler of their own product. They have to buy warehouses or rent those warehouses in 7 different markets. They have to put sales representatives in those markets, and they have to have sales managers to manage those representatives. They also have extra sales administration costs, transportation costs, and inventory costs. All of this adds up to about a 32% increase in expenses. If you take a look at Cardon Carpet Mills' income for option 1 and option 2, you will notice that based on the same sales from 1999, their gross margin increases from $18.75 million to $23.4 million, or from a 25% margin to a 40% margin. This increase in gross margin is based on the fact that option 2 allows Cardon Carpet Mills to capture the margin that was previously going to the wholesaler. Of course, as we previously discussed, the increased margin gain with option 2 comes with increased expenses. The total amount of expense associated with option 2 going direct to retail is estimated to be $38,675,000 compared to the $15,750,000 in expense that Cardon Carpet Mills currently spends. Option 2 will increase the total expenses from 28% of sales to 41.25% of sales. If you look at the financial summary, considering the additional margin acquired by going straight to retail as well as the associated expenses, Cardon Carpet Mills stands to lose $1,175,000 by going with option 2. Therefore, they should keep their current wholesalers and scrap the idea of going direct to retail. Cardon Carpet needs to think strategically. The wholesalers that they employ are already proficient at what they do. It would be costly for Cardon Carpet to open new warehouses, and it could disrupt their current distribution, which could be costly in terms of sales. Cardon Carpet has no experience wholesaling and has healthy, long-standing relationships with their wholesalers. Out of the 7 wholesalers that Cardon Carpet utilizes, 2 of them have more than 30 years of experience, 4 of them have 20 to 25 years of experience, and even the least experienced wholesaler has been with the company for 10 years. Taking on wholesaling is a gamble that Cardon Carpet mills cannot afford to take. If they sever the relationships with their wholesalers, those relationships would be very difficult to rebuild. Cardon Carpet has received threats of wholesalers purchasing from competitors if they implement a direct-to-market strategy, which could put their entire operation in jeopardy. Shaw Industries has already tried to go into direct retail and saw a mass exodus of customers. They canceled that operation, and most of their customers resumed doing business with them. Cardon Carpet has an opportunity to learn a lesson through observation of another company rather than experience and potentially fail. The direct retail sales trend crippled the giant Shaw Industries, and if the much smaller Cardon Carpet Mills tries this, it may put them out of business for good. Suzanne Goldman already has verbal confirmation from a wholesaler that this would be the case, and that Cardon Carpet's customers already have a plan to go with competitors if they implement direct retail sales. Here we have an option 1 for Cardon Carpet Mills, which is stay where they are. The pros are they maintain the relationships with their current wholesalers, they have opportunity for expansion into new markets, less risk, and they have experience in manufacturing just to keep doing what they've been successful at. The cons are no opportunity for vertical integration, sacrifice margin to wholesalers, and less dedicated product selling time from sales representatives of those wholesalers. Option 2 here, direct to retail. The pros are increased margins, more control over their supply chain with opportunities to increase efficiencies, but the cons are they have increased expenses with an overall net financial loss. Not to mention they have no experience in wholesaling, and this could lead to supply chain disruption and unhappy customers. Cardon Carpet currently operates in an intricate network of wholesalers and retailers. Their product is selling because of these groups. They have no idea what butterfly effect their decision to go into wholesaling will have. Cardon is not guaranteed that they will be successful in the wholesale segment of the industry, and that, coupled with current customer threats, spells disaster for sales. If Cardon goes into direct distribution, they will see a mass departure of customers and will be stuck with enormous pressure on their wholesale teams to sell their products. Customers will evacuate, and this could mean bankruptcy for Cardon Carpet Mills. Our recommendation for Cardon Carpet Mills is to keep the supply chain model that has made them successful and focus on other tactics in order to increase margins and generate new sales. Cardon Carpet is trying to pull off direct distribution, is thinking inside of the box. They need to creatively think outside of the box in terms of where they need to go strategically. Option 1 is do nothing. Isn't really a recommendation to do nothing. There are other strategies that Cardon Carpet Mills can employ in order to boost sales and grow the company. This leads Cardon Carpet to implement a Six Sigma approach to lean manufacturing their product. They need to reduce waste and synchronize flow to be a value-creating organization. They need to communicate with wholesalers in order to form an integrated supply chain, and that will increase flow in the organization. Increase flow in the organization, the supply chain synchronizes, and this results in enhanced customer value. Cardon Carpet needs to be a focused differentiator. Cardon Carpet Mills has increased the quality and selection of their products, but is yet to communicate these value-added dimensions to the customer. They should define value in carpet manufacturing and educate wholesalers, retailers, and consumers on what value in carpeting is. Their carpet should be positioned differently so that brand perception is positively reinforced with customers. Cardon Carpet Mill's products are superior to others, and they need to show wholesalers, retailers, and ultimately customers why. Once they educate wholesalers and retailers, they in turn can educate the end consumer. Manufacturers have been focused on cost reduction and have competed primarily on price. The result has been an increase in sales with a decrease in margin. Cardon Carpet Mills needs to increase their focus and spending on advertising. In cooperation with wholesalers and retailers, a well-developed advertising campaign that increases awareness to the quality and added features of Cardon Carpet Mills products will help to increase sales and de-emphasize the focus on price. Consumers are willing to pay a higher price if they are aware of a difference in quality. Cardon could also host events where wholesalers and retailers can come for a guided tour of the factory and a luncheon with the CEO as the lead speaker. This will provide positive brand perception and intrinsic value for their products. Carpet Mills currently only operates in the United States. They need to start thinking globally about expansion to increase their profit margins and sales. Our second recommendation is for Cardon Carpet to work cooperatively with wholesalers and retailers in advertising, supply chain management, sales ratios, inventory controls, and margins. They are already cooperating successfully in advertising, but this cooperation needs to be across the board in order for the success to continue. Working together with wholesalers and retailers on supply chain management to develop a better, more efficient network will increase Cardon Carpet's profit margins. Stop viewing wholesalers and retailers as necessary evils in the carpet industry and start viewing them as key members in the network. If proper communication and collaboration happens, a better network will come to life. When Cardon works with wholesalers and retailers to improve supply chain management, synergy happens. Smart companies become brilliant when they align themselves with other companies in their supply chain and work together. Cardon Carpet will save time, increase profitability, improve efficiency, and satisfy customers. Our final recommendation is for Cardon Carpet to stop thinking about vertical integration and to start thinking about horizontal expansion. This means they would give up on the idea of direct distribution and start thinking about manufacturing more floor coverings other than just carpet. Hardwood, laminate, and ceramic tile are areas of floor covering that are gaining market share, and Cardon should be thinking about this horizontal expansion. Around 25% of companies in the rug and carpet segment of floor covering manufacturing also operate in other areas to produce hardwood, laminate, and ceramic tile. Team Charlie is convinced that our consulting advice will lead Cardon to success in the future.